WTF crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky DIY, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Manitoba, Canada. What's the fold? Today we are doing something just a tiny bit different. I'm making a joy fold, which I've done before, but I'm using an ephemera pack and the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper. But look at all of these really pretty cool little flowers. That are good to go, and some are even ready for coloring, which is what we're going to be doing with this guy right here today. I don't normally love 6x6 designer series paper packs, but look at how absolutely gorgeous this paper is. I am in love. I love watercolor type stuff. The colors are just so bright and so happy and so pretty. This is going to be an upcoming class soon. All right, so this is the piece that I've chosen. I've got a piece of cardstock here. It is 4 1/4, 5 1/2, and then 2 inches here, which gives us a total of 8, if my math is right. It's been a long day. I'm not entirely sure if my math is right. So we are going to cut our paper. Usually I do this before I hit the go button on my video, but I didn't today. So you have to play right along with me. I forgot to check the name of the stamp set that I'm using, so I will link that down below. All right, so we've got 2 1/2. So we're going to cut this guy at 2 1/4, and then we're going to attach it there, and then this one, maybe we'll do that. This, yeah, I think we're going to do that way instead. So this paper is more about showcasing the paper than it is about anything else, really, because this paper is just oh so very pretty. And there's the other piece of that. So this guy's going to get put off to the side for another day. This one we're going to do 4 inches. And 5 1/4. And I'm going to show you something a little bit different that we're going to do for the joy fold today. Now this paper is pretty ideal. It's light enough that you can write on it. If it wasn't going to be light enough to write on, you could do a bigger piece with a piece of cardstock that flips open, which is what a joy fold is. So that you would have more room for your message, but there is oodles of room here. So we're just going to kind of aim for center, and same on this side. So yeah, there's loads of room to write a little bit more. And we're going to kind of aim for center there. All right. So there's our card base done. Now I'm using the hexagon punch, and we've got a little card that I've created with this. So it's actually going to go right here to help us close our card. All right, in my, oh, there it is. All right, so I have a balmy blue base, say that 3 times fast, and our hexagon punch here. Now normally when I'm instructing to punch, we want to go and have absolutely nothing showing through the other side, but to make a little card opening, you want to make sure that you have just the tiniest little bit that doesn't hit the edge of the punch. Sometimes, yeah, sometimes doubles are a little tricky. There we go. A little bit of extra pressure. So then we've got our little card punch here. We're going to grab this guy and you know what? I don't have any. Oh, you know what? I'll use gray. Not sure where my memento went, but it's all good. Now, when you're punching, you want to make sure, or when you're stamping, you want to make sure that your card spine is on the left so that it is going to open the right way. And we're going to do this sending hugs, which I've been using a ton lately. We're just going to straight down, straight up, close our, you want to hear that click so that you know that it is completely sealed. We're going to lay this, and then we're going to do a little bit of coloring. So when you're placing your little sentiment tag, you want to make sure that it's close enough, that it's actually going to keep your card closed. And we're going to come up, because it's a little tiny little tag, we are going to use our little flower here as a little extra helper. So we're just going to carefully punch it out and grab, just in case it bleeds a little bit. I've got Bubble Bath and Granny Apple Green here in the watercolor or Stampin' Write markers. Now there's two ends. There is the writing end and the brush end. I usually like the writing end because I find that it gives me a little bit more control when I'm coloring. Now, could you use blends? Absolutely. I just find that I use blends an awful lot, and sometimes I just want to use something a little bit different. One of my favorite things to do with the markers, actually I'm going to flip over to the brush end for that one. One of my favorite things to do with the markers actually is writing or coloring right on my stamps, so that I can get more than one ink tone. Or sometimes if I'm using just a small area, it's just easier to do it with the markers than it is with something big. Also, the markers are water soluble, so if I make a mess, they're easy to clean up. All right, and if you wanted to leave this black and white, you absolutely could. I just wanted to have a little bit of fun coloring, so this will be probably, I don't know exactly, but I'm guessing it's probably going to be a little bit longer than my typical video, but not by much, because I 100% subscribe to the School of Quick and Dirty Coloring. All right, Granny Apple Green. It's one of my favorite greens. It's so bright and cheerful. I'm going to flip to the marker end for this one too. You just want to do a little bit of a light touch, especially in smaller areas, so that you don't go over. This is basically like coloring in a coloring book. As long as you mostly stay in the lines, you're good. All right, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you're notified every single time a brand new video goes up. I do try to do at least one a week, sometimes up to 3. Right now, my plan is WTF, What's the Fold for Wednesdays, as well as Flashback Friday, where I pull into my stash and grab a retired stamp set and show you some maybe new cool ideas for it. And if you don't have the stamp set, you can absolutely go ahead and create with something similar. So that's what crafting's all about, using what you have without having to spend a fortune on more craft supplies. Although new stuff is fun too. This actually, this ephemera pack and designer series paper arrived today with a new stamp set that I am ridiculously excited to play with a little bit. Actually, I'll just grab it and show it to you because it is, I love big sentiments, and this one is absolutely perfect. Softly said, it's got kind of a bit of a watercolor look. And look at the size of these. Like, they are big. They're going to be used really, really soon. All right, so we've got our designer series paper on our card. We've got our flowers colored. We're going to grab some dimensionals. Probably 3. And I'm actually going to figure out where I'm going to place this before I place it, because I don't want to have our dimensionals too close to where our card is going to be needing to be opened. And I'll put one right here. All right, pull these guys off, and then we're just gonna add a little bit of bling and we are good to go. Okay, so this guy we're gonna place so it doesn't block our sentiment if at all possible. So it's going to help keep our card closed. The other thing that's going to help keep our card closed is a good little burnish right on our crease line. And then of course gems. Every card needs gems. These are the Tinsel Gem 3-pack. I think I'm going to actually use the blue today. And I'm going to do it on this side. It'll add a little bit of weight. And we'll see if that's going to be... Okay, I need to extrude some putty. So twist until you start to see the putty come out. As soon as you see it coming out, back it off so that it doesn't keep coming out. I have a huge window in my craft room. And one summer, just after I got my Take Your Pick, I had actually not twisted it off and I left it in my craft room on my table, which is right in front of my window. And I had a lovely long putty snake hanging out in my craft room when I came back into my room. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to put 5 on this guy because it just looks like it needs it. All right, so there is our modified Joy Fold. So a Joy Fold basically, again, has some sort of a card that folds over to cover your opening. And then, yeah, we just used our little ephemera pack to help it stay shut. And then you can write a little note inside. You can actually, if you wanted to, you can put a piece of white or balmy blue coordinating cardstock here to write a message on this side. And you can also have some space to write here depending on the cardstock that you've chosen to use. So if you try this, I would love to see it. Pop it over onto my Facebook page. As always, I do welcome people to post their creations as well. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you spending a little bit of your time with me today. Have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.